Johnny Depp and his girl. Doug Stanhope wrote an article.
It's scary.
Yeah. It's one of two things, right? Either Johnny Depp really his girlfriend, or his girlfriend is lying, Stanhope, and his girlfriend saw it the whole time. That's Stanhope's version of it. I trust Stanhope. I trust him very well. I trust Stanhope about as much as anybody I know. So if he says that she was manipulating him and that she had said, and was worried that she was going to do this. Yeah, Johnny Depp is being blackmailed by Amber Heard. Here's how I know. Guest column. Doug Stanhope, The Wrap.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have something here now which I'm going to show, which is kind of on the ball regarding this whole Johnny and Amber situation, and a lot of it actually goes from Joe Rogan. And I watched the clip. Well, it's actually a podcast with Joey Diaz. Again, love that guy, so funny. And the biggest issue is, I did upload this video earlier, but it kind of got copyright claimed because of the Joe Rogan video. But what we're going to do, we're going to look at the article that Joe and Joey was looking at. And it's very, very interesting. This article came out in 2016 as well. But this is what we got. So it's from The Wrap. Johnny Depp is being blackmailed by Amber. Here's how I know. Guest column. Actor's friend, comic Doug Stanhope, says that Amber was threatening to lie about him publicly in any and every possible way if he didn't agree to her terms. And this is kind of believable because, again, what we've seen recently as well is that everything was going on from 2013 to 2015 before they got married. They got married in February of 2015. So if supposedly all of this bad stuff happened in those 2 years, why did she agree to marry him? Or was it that she was literally going to do anything she could to publicly shame him if he didn't marry her? So this could have been it. So, but again, not bad there, update, her attorney says the claim is false. Again, this is people who are saying what they're saying because it's what they think. It's their opinion. And people are allowed opinions. It's like assholes. Everyone's got one. So, it's almost 4 a.m. and I can't sleep. Not even dozing off. Today, a friend of mine was pillared in the press for this. Coupled with a picture of his wife with this, he was this on social media, which, again, is true because you show something on social media, this day and age, everyone's like, oh my God, automatic guilt. And it's not. People really need to stop that. But again, no, these are the people who believe, they believe the Karens on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media posts. I watched it happen and I didn't say a word, even though I knew it was rubbish. We'd watched it build like this since before they were married. We'd watched her manipulate and do this to him for years. We didn't say a word. To each other, yes, but never to him. When your friend is in an awful relationship, man or woman, and you risk weighing in that their counterpart is this, you know the odds are that they will jump right back into the fire and then dump you from their life for being honest. Most of us have been on one or both sides of this coin. Yep, 100%. Choosing to be blinded or removing the people who have clearer eyes that can guide you. The fact that Hollywood and the entertainment industry at large, society as a whole, turns a blind eye to this is wrong. But the tides have turned in such a way that the mere allegation that such a thing has occurred leaves the person accused as guilty without due process. Which this day and age, again, going back to the whole Me Too movement, that's exactly what it is now. Someone comes out and says, oh, so-and-so did this to me. Straight away, without any evidence, without even going to the police to file a report, just to tell someone in the government that this has happened. Or they just run to social media and say it instead. Why would you do that? Again, this whole situation, it's sad to see because people care more now about public execution instead of doing it by law. They'd rather see some kind of thing on social media which will literally get rid of that person even if they've done nothing wrong. My girlfriend Bingo and I have known Johnny for a few years now. We have watched Amber mess with him at his weakest or watched him at his weakest from being done for the entire time we've known him. And we didn't say nothing, because he's Johnny. And we didn't want to be thrown out of the circle for saying that the Emperor was being stripped of his clothes. It isn't my place to name people who agreed with us, but I could name one person closely associated with him that didn't feel the same. But nobody said nothing to his face. Bingo and I were at Johnny's house for most of that Saturday until just before the alleged... We assumed initially that his dour mood, it was because of his mother's death the day before. But he opened up in the most vulnerable of ways that it was not only his mother, but that Amber was now going to leave him, threatening to lie about him publicly in any and every possible way if he didn't agree to her terms. Blackmail is what I would imagine other people might put it, including the manner in which he was now being vilified. We stopped, not saying nothing. Bingo and I together, then separately, told him how much we were aware of this manipulative woman, how his closest circle had all agreed on this since the day we met, and that we all feared that telling him outright might alienate us all, not alien nut. I feel a bit like a nut now. Love makes you do funny things, which it does. I told him the truth, and I half expected to be asked to leave, but I wasn't seeing Johnny. I saw a naked Emperor, and we told him to get dressed. Other people came in and out during the afternoon, all verifying that we'd been cowardly, saying things only behind his back for so long. He seemed dumbstruck that nobody had ever come clean about this, and he thanked everyone for being honest. He still pronounced his love for her, but was presently aware that she was going to pull off some kind of ruse to mess him up. He hadn't slept in Dave's anxiety. You'd call him a paranoid if he didn't know better. But he knew better, and he was right. As he finally felt like he could sleep, we left him. From what we now read in the news, later that night the police were called to his house for a domestic. I just quickly want to add something here now, which is from Joey Diaz, which is actually from the podcast between him and Joe Rogan when they talk about this. And it's very, very interesting and specific to that last sentence.
You know what happens when the cops come and there's an argument now?
Yeah, they take you away.
It's not good.
Yeah, they take the man away.
No, he wasn't there. He fled the scene. But if there was a problem,
they would have come and got him.
They would have come and got him.
So
even with the pictures, if there was pictures
right.
and shit's broken, now because of OJ, you have to. Especially in LA.
Ding, ding, ding. People knew this was going to happen because of the way she is. Everything Johnny had told us that she'd been doing it had actually come to be. It blew up in the news, raced through the internet like a plague, and blew up on Twitter. People are swarming with torches on social media, which again was what I was just saying in my little rant. I watched it all happen ahead of time, and I watched it come to fruition today, and I haven't been able to sleep again because I didn't say anything to him. Why? Because I felt like in defending him, I would just come across as a psychopath trying to attach myself to a sensationalized story in order to further my career. A latter-day Cato, and now as the sun is coming up, I realise not saying anything to defend him is a far worse crime of ego to leave a friend hanging so you don't look like a suck-up. I and the we that were there aren't suck-ups or apologists. We were witnesses. I didn't jump at the fray because I was weak. It was because I didn't want to look like a name dropper. I'll name drop now. Johnny is my friend. But any one of my friends will tell you I always call him out on this and all of this. Johnny doesn't... And he told me that day ahead of time that she'd pull some kind of something like this. Johnny got used, manipulated, set up and made to look like this. And he saw it coming and didn't or couldn't do anything to stop it. He may never talk to me again for saying it, but I never forgive myself for not coming to his defense out of fear of ego. I stand up with my friends and I tell the truth. That's what we got there, and as you can see, the entire story, man, it's a sad thing to see, especially when it's your friends, and when you think about it, when you got someone who's coming out now and, you know, again, this is 4 years ago. When people knew what was going to happen, and it's still going on now, 4 years later. This just goes to show how bad Amber really is. And again, we may never know what these terms are that supposedly that she wanted Johnny to accept. But in my eyes, I'm probably thinking they were like, you marry me, or you do this, you do that, or I'm going to say all of this just to destroy you. And we've seen excerpts of what she said. You're washed up, you're fat, you're a no one. Who's going to believe you? I'm a woman. You know, and these are all recordings that the evidence is there. So just with that bit of evidence that we've all heard and seen, and now we see other things happening from 4 to 5 years ago. And it's like, you know what? People knew, and people still let her get away with stuff. Not anymore. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates, and I'll see each and every one of you very soon.